there has been a ceasefire understanding between India and Pakistan, at least for now. That doesn't mean any deterrent with regard to Pakistan, but at least a messaging has gone ahead. But who's taking the credit war for the ceasefire? It's President of the United States of America, Donald Trump. He's claiming that his administration brokered a deal between India and Pakistan. American president further went on to add that both the nations were unwavering, but America was successful in mediating. But here's what Prime Minister Modi, in his address to the nation at 8 p.m., clearly stated. Pakistan begged for a truce after being crushed and crippled in many ways by the Indian forces in the strikes. And then, with one more claim of Donald Trump asserting, he used trade as a leverage to broker a deal between India and Pakistan. And that precisely led for the change. But amid all of this, Prime Minister Modi had something else to say. He said, terror and talks and trade cannot go together. Let's listen in to both the world leaders and try and understand what is America saying, how is India putting out its perspective.
On Saturday, my administration helped broker a full and immediate ceasefire, I think a permanent one, between India and Pakistan, ending a dangerous conflict of two nations with lots of nuclear weapons. And we helped also with trade. I said, come on, we're going to do a lot of trade with you guys. Let's stop it. Let's stop it. If you stop it, we're doing trade. If you don't stop it, we're not going to do any trade. People have never really used trade the way I used it, that I can tell you. And all of a sudden they said, I think we're going to stop. And they have. And
भारत की आक्रामक कार्रवाई के बाद पाकिस्तान बचने के रास्ते खोजने लगा। पाकिस्तान दुनिया भर में तनाव कम करने के लिए गुहार लगा रहा था और बुरी तरह पीटने के बाद इसी मजबूरी में 10 मई की दोपहर को पाकिस्तानी सेना ने हमारे डीजीएमओ को संपर्क किया। तब तक हम आतंकवाद के इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर को बड़े पैमाने पर तबाह कर चुके थे। पाकिस्तान की तरफ से जब ये कहा गया कि उसकी ओर से आगे कोई आतंकी गतिविधि और सैन्य दुस्साहस नहीं दिखाया जाएगा, तो भारत ने भी उस पर विचार किया।
On Saturday, my administration helped broker a full and immediate ceasefire, I think a permanent one, between India and Pakistan, ending a dangerous conflict of two nations with lots of nuclear weapons. And they were going at it hot and heavy, and it was seemingly not going to stop. And I'm very proud to let you know that the leadership of India and Pakistan was unwavering, powerful, but unwavering in both cases, and having these, they really were, from the standpoint of having the strength and the wisdom and fortitude to fully know and to understand the gravity of the situation. And we helped a lot. And we helped also with trade. I said, come on, we're going to do a lot of trade with you guys. Let's stop it. Let's stop it. If you stop it, we're doing trade. If you don't stop it, we're not going to do any trade. People have never really used trade the way I used it, that I can tell you. And all of a sudden they said, I think we're going to stop.
मैं आज विश्व समुदाय को भी कहूंगा, हमारी घोषित नीति रही है, अगर पाकिस्तान से बात होगी तो टेररिज्म पर ही होगी। अगर पाकिस्तान से बात होगी तो पाक ऑक्युपाइड कश्मीर पीओके उस पर ही होगी। भारत का मत एकदम स्पष्ट है। टेरर और टॉक एक साथ नहीं हो सकते। टेरर और ट्रेड एक साथ नहीं चल सकते। और पानी और खून भी एक साथ नहीं बह सकता।
India Today's Foreign Affairs editor Geeta Mohan joins me this morning. Geeta, clearly we can see how Donald Trump is claiming it's all to his credit that there's this ceasefire that's happened. Tell me more about India's perspective, view, and the statement that came in from PM Modi.
Well, India has absolutely rejected any of these claims. There are details on the conversations that took place. Sources have told India Today that there was a conversation that took place between Vice President Vance and Prime Minister Modi on the 9th. Then another conversation that took place between External Affairs Minister Jaishankar and Secretary of State Rubio on the 8th and 10th. And on the 10th, Rubio also spoke with National Security Advisor Ajit Doval. The 10th conversations happened after he spoke with Pak Army Chief Asim Munir. And the only conversation that he had with Jaishankar was not for an off-ramp or a de-escalation or a mediation to that end. But very specifically, he called to say, I'm not doing an off-ramp conversation with you. This is just to inform you that Asim Munir wants a stop on the firing. So it was Pakistan that requested a halt in the firing, and there was no conversation on trade or, for that matter, the other bogey that has been doing the rounds, nuclear. No conversation on trade or nuclear when it comes to India and the United States of America.
Geeta, also, I want to understand this. With these claims coming in with regard to mediation from Donald Trump, why isn't this talk matching action on the ground? Because when I look at, for example, Russia, Ukraine, Israel-Hamas war, all that and more, Donald Trump is eager to mediate on this issue. Tell me more about how globally do you think, what is Donald Trump's perspective, plan, especially with regard to these mediations?
Well, that's absolutely right. While he had claimed that he would, during his campaigning before he won the elections, that in the first 100 days itself, he'll be solving these problems when it comes to Russia, Ukraine, and Israel, Hamas. In fact, he said it'll just take us 24 hours to solve the war in Russia, Ukraine. But he hasn't managed to do that. In fact, he has been cutting deals, but not moving forward in terms of ending. We'll have to wait and see where that really heads when it comes to ending. But for India, India has been very clear that they did not seek mediation. In the case of Russia, Ukraine, there was a mediation that was sought. They were speaking with the United States of America. In fact, separate conversations between US and Ukraine and US and Russia were taking place in order to find a solution. Again, US, Israel, and then US and representatives who could talk on behalf of Hamas. So they wanted the United States of America involved. India was very clear that India did not want mediation by any country. If anything, the global community was told, and the message was conveyed that if Pakistan stops fire, India will stop fire. If not, India will retaliate and retaliate harder. That was the only message that was to be carried out and to be conveyed, and which is what India did, telling the world community, do not intervene. We don't want anybody's help. We're okay. We're doing all right on our own.